Hey everyone, it's Neil Patel, and today in SEO Unlocked, we're going to be going over Google Analytics Part 2. In other words, I'm going to help you master Google Analytics and get into some of the nitty-gritty details that you need to know to really succeed. Before we get started, a quote I want to read from W. Edwards Deming: "In God we trust, all others must bring data." And as I mentioned, we're going to be going over Google Analytics Part 2. So the big problem that you may end up facing with Google Analytics now that you have it up and running is, hey, what are the keywords that are driving traffic to me? With paid advertising, you'll see them right away, but if you're not using paid advertising, a lot of your organic and SEO traffic will show you not provided. And they ended up making this change in October 2011 to help protect users' privacy. So the way that you would uncover your not provided keywords is you would go into Google Analytics, click on Admin, click on Create View, and then you want to go to Filters. And when you click on Filters, I'll break down how to create it so that way you can view all the not provided keywords. But a really important disclaimer that I need to make is do not apply this filter to all of your website's traffic. That would eliminate important data from all your analytics account that you won't be able to recover. So this is really important that you follow it step by step. And what you want to do is add a filter. And when you click add a filter, you'll go through and you want to end up putting search term not provided. You'll also want to end up putting request URL and just copy it literally verbatim. And then campaign term, you want to end up putting that. When you end up doing that, you'll be good to go. It ends up taking, let's say, a few days to a week to collect significant data. If you don't get much traffic at all, it can take a few weeks, but you'll start seeing data on some of those not provided terms. In addition to that, another easy thing you can do is connect your Google Search Console account to your Google Analytics account, and that'll also start showing you data of all the keywords that people are finding you from when it comes to SEO standpoint. Another problem that you're going to be facing is dark traffic. You're probably wondering, hey Neil, what's dark traffic? Don't worry, it's nothing shady or unethical like that. It's more so direct traffic. You get all this direct traffic, but is it really direct? How are they learning about you? How are they finding out about you? So when you look at your site, you'll probably see that maybe 20% of your traffic is direct. It shouldn't be more than, let's say, 38, 40%. But in general, what you'll find is if it's too high and you're not getting much traffic at all, it could just be you going to your site a lot of times, and that'll be considered direct traffic. But in most cases, it's actually Google traffic that is the direct traffic. Not all, but a large portion. So there was a company called Groupon. They provide coupons for any restaurant or place or spa at a really good discount. And they ran an experiment, and I do not recommend that you run this experiment. They're like, let's run a little experiment and block out Google for a few days and see what happens. What quickly ended up happening is not only did their organic search traffic go down, but also their direct traffic went drastically down. And it shows that, hey, a lot of the people who are just going to your website, they may just be coming from search, but it's being classified as direct traffic. So what I want you to do is create a new segment and click on add segment, and then from there click on new segment. And what I want you to do is click on traffic sources, contains direct, and then I want you to add a condition in which you say is none of, and it's pretty much not your homepage. Because when you exclude your homepage, most people aren't going direct to like neilpatel.com/blog/how to boost your SEO traffic. They're usually going to your homepage. So when you exclude out your homepage, chances are the rest is direct traffic. And you'll want to name this segment, like you can call it dark traffic, and then click save. So then that'll give you an idea of how much of your direct traffic is really direct or search. When you're also doing SEO, especially if you're working for someone else, and even if you're a business owner, you want to see the value. You don't want to make an investment in SEO just because I tell you. You want to see the ROI. And Google Analytics is the main way to measure this ROI. It'll tell you if something's driving revenue or conversions or sales. It'll always tell you that, hey, if you're ranking for a page and this key term, if it's driving revenue or if it's just driving you traffic that doesn't convert, because you need a purpose. Your SEO goals isn't to just drive traffic unless your campaign is brand awareness. Your goal should be to drive revenue, leads, sales. And that's why you want to use Google Analytics. You also want to use that data to make informed decisions. And I'll break down in a bit on how to find more data within Google Analytics so you can make informed decisions. But it's super important because within your organization or your company, look, we as individuals, even me, we don't know everything. You want the data to guide you and tell you what you should be focusing and doing. So make note of all the changes that you make within your marketing so you can see that, hey, when we're making these changes, is it causing more conversions? Is it causing more traffic? Is it causing more sales? Right? As I mentioned, you want data to guide you. So within your Google Analytics, you can click that small drop down arrow and you can start adding annotations. You'll also see on the right side, there's a little blue link that says create new annotation. And anytime you do something or make a change, you can create a new annotation and you can quickly see, all right, this is the day that I made this change. And did my traffic or sales go up, or did they go down, or did they stay flat? This is really useful because it'll help guide your changes and tell you if you did something good or bad, so you know in the future what to repeat or what not to do at all. I also love comparing my traffic year over year because it'll tell me, are things going better or are they getting worse over time? And if they're getting worse, then what I do in the previous years that helped me perform better than I am now. And that's why you want to use annotations as well. You also want to look at your blog content. Is it appealing? Which ones are? What ones are performing better? Because that's the stuff you should be writing more about. In your navigation, you want to go to behavior, site content, and all pages. And this will show you when you see spikes, what pages are doing the best over time. And those are more of the pages that you want to create, especially if they're driving sales, leads, and conversions. You can do the same thing with your landing pages. You use similar navigation, go to behavior and then landing pages to see what landing pages are also performing the best over time, because it'll give you an idea of the type of landing pages you should create and the ones that you're just wasting your time on. I also want you to check your social media traffic. So within the left navigation bar, click on all traffic and then go source medium and look for your social traffic. What social channels are driving you consistent traffic? And also look at the goal completion from those social channels, because now you can see which ones are also driving revenue. Is Facebook making you more money, or is YouTube, or is it Twitter or Instagram? You'll be able to see within this report. You can also break it down by referrals, because a lot of social sites won't show up there. So you can go acquisitions, all traffic, referrals. This also shows you all referring traffic as well, even if it's not a social site. Like let's say if Forbes linked to you, or Huffington Post, or CNN, or BBC, you can see what kind of traffic you got and what kind of revenue it generated you as well, because you set up goal tracking. I also want you to check out your campaigns if you're doing pay-per-click traffic or any ads. And when you go under campaigns in your left navigation, or acquisition, Google Ads campaigns, you can quickly see if it's working or if it's not. Now, one thing to note here is we typically see the conversions, the numbers that you see in this report, not always match up 100% with your database. So let's say you have an e-commerce site and you're selling boxes. You may end up seeing in this report 100 conversions, but you may end up seeing in your backend that you only got 89 orders. So it's pretty close to accurate, but just, use it as a general rule of thumb. If things are going up or down, keep in mind it's not 100% accurate always. You want to double check the data with your own database. This will all help you figure out what's working and what's not. You want to do more of what's working and less of what's not. And when you're finding that something isn't working out, you don't want to just delete those pages or stop. You want to go into Google Search Console, click on search results in the left navigation, and look at those pages that aren't working. Be like, are they getting impressions but low click rate? Because if they are, maybe I just need to adjust my meta tags, like my title of the page, meta description, to try to get more clicks. And that will help you get more traffic. And as you get more traffic, those pages may start working again. And the other thing that you want to end up doing is track that over time, because once you make those changes within Search Console, usually within 30 days, you can see if you're getting better results from it or if you're not. And what I like doing is I do either rewriting the post, include more detailed content if I'm trying to improve it. I may include images or surveys. Surveys, you can use tools like SurveyMonkey or Hotjar to survey your audience and figure out what you need to improve. Update the meta description and title tag like I mentioned. You also want to look at your competitors and create better content, better videos, better images. Just in other words, outdo them. Put in 110% effort. And once you make your changes, go back into Search Console, click on URL inspection, and then type in your URL that you made the changes to, so that way Google can crawl it so you can quickly see if the changes you're making within 30 days are providing you a lift or flat, or they actually tank your traffic. Because sometimes you can make changes that hurt, sometimes the changes are good. This will all tell you what you should be doing in the future, because it shows you what's working and what's not working. So some action items for you: run reports and find out what's working, upgrade the posts with impressions, high impressions and low click-through rate, and rewrite the titles. So if you do all of this, you'll be better off. You can also use a tool called ClickFlow that'll help you rewrite the titles, so check that out as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to continually helping you grow your search traffic.